Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and it's a really proud moment for us. We have two of our bright students, Tamzonians, Dr. Anurag Mehndiratta. He's scored an awesome rank of 35 in NEET PG 2016. 36, okay, 35, 36. It's still one of the top ranks. So heartiest congrats and very well done, Akash, Anurag. And we have Akash also with us, and he's also done amazingly well. He has a NEET PG rank of 946, and both of them would be top rankers in the Delhi state. Anurag would be rank 2 in Delhi state. They've made a provisional list, and Akash would be a provisional rank of 44 in Delhi PG. Heartiest congrats to both of you, right? कैसा लग रहा है अभी?
I'm feeling extremely happy, and this is like a dream come true.
Totally, I can relate to it. And what about you, Akash? कैसा लग रहा है?
Totally unbelievable.
Totally unbelievable. They have been with us when they were kids. They're still kids, and I still treat them like that. And they had joined us way back in their
4 years back.
4 years back in their second professional year, and they've been ever since connected with us. So they did a foundation, pre-foundation, and foundation, and then followed up with TAD. So it's a long journey with us. How has it been for you people?
Now, DAMS is truly a family. I've been here since 4 years and always connected. Especially Deepthi ma'am, she always finds time for her students. Anywhere, she might be on a trip, she might be anywhere, she would find time for you, and that is the best thing that DAMS has to offer. They are connected to the students all the time.
Thank you so much. It's our pleasure, because that's how we believe we can be a part of your preparation and hopefully make a change for better. How about you, Akash?
I feel like DAMS is not only an institute where you go and only get some teaching or that. If you have any problem, they let you sort out it very nicely. They are available every time, any moment. Although you're not going to call them at 12 in the night, but still they are available almost every time. And any problem, anything, they are always there with you. You never feel alone. You never feel like we are in a professional institute and you can't outreach them, but they are always in a position that you can ask anything about them.
So thank you so much. And as they say that out of their 4-year journey, this is what has made a lot of difference for them. Okay, both of you top ranks in top 100 is like amazing thing. And do you believe that you guys started really early, right? Second professional year. So do you believe starting early did create some difference for you?
A lot of difference, I must say. Especially, I'd like to mention like short subjects are there. If you do DAMS notes, it's more than sufficient. And I'll share it specifically forensic medicine, which I did 4 years back, attended here, and I only read that plus TND notes, and I was sorted for the exam because I didn't get time to study forensic ever after that.
Right.
And so I think I'll give a few plus points and minus points which I would like my juniors to follow and not follow, especially my mistakes which you
so
should
I
not
think this
do.
is something which any of the youngsters who are with us, who are still in their professional years and are planning to study, I think they are absolutely the right people to guide you as to when you start early, how do you go about, because that's what a lot of them want to ask you ki, maybe you're attending the clinical class, but do you understand, or how do you incorporate it, how do you study? So what would be your advice to those juniors there?
Actually, many of the students have confusion that if we are going to a coaching institute or we are doing DAMS, then it will hamper our professional exams. So I clearly want to mention one thing, that this is a huge mistake that people are doing, that they don't want to do coaching institutes or something, that they think that they are better without them. I know some of them might be right also, but still for many of us like general chunk or many of the people who do average or whatever, but it's really been a great support, because I don't think so in our colleges the teachers or the doctors who are practicing right now, they have really a good time for us to teach us. But for prof exam also, you can completely rely on them. It's not about that they are only for your coaching for entrance
So
only.
something very, very important that he's saying, that whatever you read in your early years with us in the form of classes and notes, they not only help you for your entrance exams, but he's saying they help you form your base, and they also help you doing well in your professional exams. So did you guys do well in your professional exams? I was just chatting up with them, and they've been they're calling themselves average, but they've put in a lot of hard work, and they've been topping all their professional exams as well, right? So a very important point that he said, that it helps you in your studies side by side. So it's not something extra that you're doing, right? A lot of times we feel it's extra, and you how would you incorporate it? But that's what he's saying, that if you incorporate it, it is like it for your professional exams too. Great. And what about what was your approach right from the second year to your final year, and finally when you gave the exam?
Now especially I'd say something that second year, as we call it in our college, is the honeymoon period of MBBS. You've got so much time, your classes get off very early and you have a lot of time. So we used to participate in all the activities of the college, but then weekend would be for dams.
Okay.
So that will prepare you. That was conditioning, because they tell you that right now, if you give 2 days a week, I think that's very less a time, and then you are preparing for your final exam.
So something that he said it in a very casual way. What people want to do towards the end in 1 year, you have done it gradually and slowly over a span of 3 years, and I think that's made your life a little simpler. I won't say that it is a piece of cake, because you do have to do hard work. That is, and both of them have cleared their entrance exams in the first attempt, which means with their internship. So it's not that there is lack of hard work. They've put in a lot of hard work, but they have sort of divided it and smoothened their journey a little. Yes. Okay, Anurag.
I like to
Akash.
add one thing. Even it's not about learning something while you join in second year. There's a thing that it makes you habit of keep sitting at one place 12 hours
Yes.
at a time, and which most of the people, when they do directly in the third year or the final prof, they're not able to do it, and they almost everyone just land up into discontinuing the program, and which always hampers the results.
So that's what he's saying. It helps you maintain the consistency as well. You start learning how to sit for long hours of study, and there is no doubting on that once you are preparing for these kind of entrance exams, you do need to give those long hours, because they're very, very theory intensive. So you have to, sort of work on your theory, and you have to make a habit. And yes, that's right. A lot of students do ask us as questions. How do we improve our sitting? How do we spend more hours? So that's a very wise piece of advice. So start early, do it slowly and steadily, try and imbibe all the information, try and learn the clinical application. So once you attend the classes, were your clinics also, they were helpful in your clinics?
Definitely, a lot of theory was covered in second year only. So we used to be very good at clinics also.
Very good.
Because
Yeah.
when you go to clinics in second year, they don't expect you to know medicine. They at least expect you to know the anatomy, like especially if you go for surgery posting. But
Yes.
our anatomy would be very clear. So now we can develop on surgery easily.
Very good. Yes.
And
So
then-
that's very important again. Forming a foundation, a base on which you can keep building is very, very important. So, and if your base is weak, you really can't get strong at the top, right? So starting early, that's what they are saying. It helps to build a base and smoothen your journey a little. Otherwise, you'll have to manage more things in a shorter amount of time. Great. And since you've been with us for a long time, and you started with us with regular classes, so what do you have to say about the notes that we gave, or what we teach in the class?
The notes are absolutely awesome. If you do them and you do MCQs, that is more than sufficient. Now here comes my first negative, which I don't want my juniors to follow. That I got into doing guidebooks in third year.
Okay.
It's a confession I have to make. I made like this much was DAMS notes. I made another notebook doing the guidebooks, and I took a very good decision in the final year when I was preparing in internship. That is, I did not read those notes, because ma'am repeatedly told me that notes are sufficient, and I
The
had
ones
done
that you
the
made from the
MCQs.
guide.
Yeah. The ones from the guide, I omitted them totally from my final preparation, and that was a very good decision.
So see,
And I
he-
definitely don't want you to read guidebooks. Just do MCQs wherever you do it from.
Very,
but
very
MCQs.
aptly said. See, that's what he's saying. He had a longer time, so he could practice that part and then decide, oh no, this is not working. But for many of our students who have 1 year to go, we can't make those mistakes because you have that 1 year, which is very crucial, and revision is the key. So we must study that, something that we can revise over and over again. Akash, what do you have to say about the notes and the classes?
Actually, notes are pretty much amazing, and only only those are the things on which we can completely rely. And again, Anurag and me both did the guidebooks because we almost studied together. But even if you want to revise those guidebooks, those notes, you can't do it. You can only revise those notes which were made by you in your class only. If you don't have time, that you don't have that much time, because in 20 days you have to revise all your 20 subjects.
Yes.
So minimum 5 revisions are always needed before giving any exam. Minimum 5 revision in such kind of exam, because 20 subjects, for 20 subjects minimum 5 revision you need to have it, just to have everything in your mind, because you don't know from where they ask, and they ask anything. They
That's
don't
what
have
I said. They are very, very theory intensive exams. There are lots of sets, there are lots of probable questions that you can face. And until unless your theory is weak, you do tend to make mistakes and then, land up at a rank which may not be desirable as well.
I would like to add one thing also, that since we are having so much amount of syllabus, and people think that this much amount of syllabus cannot be covered in certain amount of time. So I would like to suggest everyone that do join DAMS in second year, because gradually when you develop that habit, and gradually the treasure of your knowledge keeps on expanding.
Very
and
true.
and you don't know it. You never get to know it until unless you give an exam, you give any exam of that all 19 subjects. Then when you join that thing in DAMS in second year, and then give an exam in final prof or something, complete 19 subjects, then you realize that most of the thing you already know. You don't have to read it.
So that's what he's saying, reinforcement. He could reinforce the same thing in a much better way, and they could make themselves as top rankers today. Okay, something else also I want to ask, and that could be a doubt among the students. Since we say that we have joined in the second year, and that medical science is evolving, so they would want to ask, what did you do about those updates, and so could you tell us on that?
The DAMS exclusive club is always there to help you. You don't have to worry at all, because we joined in second year and we did it in third year also. So it was all outdated. A lot of things are updated in 2 years time also, and they will always give you updates, especially
Right.
the TND when we joined. So it was
So that's what I was.
augmented our notes.
Yeah, so that's what I was coming to. So, did doing a follow-up test and discussion course was helpful for you as well?
Exactly, because the teacher who was teaching you since beginning, she knows that what changes are being made today itself, and they don't let you go anywhere. They'll grab it from your home and they'll give you all the information, whether you want it or not. You'll have all the information. You'll have all the updates with you.
Yes, so I want to say that as well. Once you are with us, you are solely our responsibility, and giving you any kind of updates is our motto, to keep you up for any kind of exams, not even only for exams. Even when you become clinicians, and you need to know the latest guidelines, the changes, and either you read them yourself, which is quite tedious, especially when you're preparing for an entrance exam. So it's better if you get it and you know that you have to do it, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
We had this habit of spoon feeding for the past 4 years.
But the
And-
result has been good,
Yeah,
right?
Definitely, it's been amazing. And the biggest question, none of us read Harrison.
Okay, so they and believe me, both of them they're very sweet students. They want to give out what they have done, and they want to give it wholeheartedly. They've been telling me, we want to tell people that it is possible, even if you don't do Harrison's, or for that matter any other your Mota Kitab. But I would believe the reason is because we here teach from the standard textbook, so
we
we don't
already do our work.
we don't want you to do that much effort because the time is less. So yes, you can go ahead and tell them about those standard textbooks.
Yeah. So Harrison, I think if you do Arvind Sir's classes and TNDs and mop-ups, he'll give you everything and anything that is required. You don't need to do Harrison. But yeah, Bailey, maybe if you can do, but I would suggest if you want to read standard textbooks, which I could not, but maybe I could have done better
But
a few
yet,
questions were new
but,
questions.
but
were
yet
there.
he secured a rank 35 in NEET. Okay, he's being a little too modest.
So you should do that in pre-final year, and rather than doing guidebooks, you should do standard textbooks.
Very,
in pre-final
very,
year.
very good advice. You know, this is something that I also want to say. You know, there will be certain subtopics that you might want to go in a depth, or you want to understand them again. And instead of reading them from the guidebooks, it's always a good idea to go back to a standard textbook. Read that subtopic. You will get more information. You will know how to apply things, and you will also retain them for a longer time. What do you have to say, Akash, for standard textbooks? Did you read Harrison's?
No, ma'am. Not
No,
at all.
ma'am.
Actually, there are some students in your class. They are always after this that we are reading standard textbooks, and you don't know much about you don't have that much knowledge that we are having. But actually, it doesn't matter at all, because whatever important things, important points you have to focus, they are always in your notes. I don't think so. If anyone is starting preparing for entrance exams in final year, so they must only get these classes done, have a nice notes, and only read them. That's it. That's a simple mantra, and I don't think so reading standard textbook would help, because in India we have such an exam. I don't think so we have time. I know reading standard textbook is always always a good thing, but for the situation purpose, I must advise ki you must read only.
He's right. He's trying to be practical. He's saying if somebody is doing the hard work for you when they're making the notes from standard textbooks, then you, instead of doing the entire hard work all over again, rely on the notes, do them repeatedly, and instead do some subtopics from the standard textbook.
Exactly. They are not making their notes by their own. They are only
Yes.
getting it from standard textbooks only. It is
That's
not
right.
coming from the
That
sky.
is the most important reason why you have to have faith in your notes. Do them nicely and do them repeatedly. Yes,
And
and
this time that you save, you can give it for repeated
Revisions. Excellent. Yes.
That is what will get you your rank. And especially first, second year, you should have it on your tips.
So that's what they are saying. Instead of utilizing your precious time, use it for a smart study. I would say that's the word. You have to do smart study. You have to know how you will manage the 19 subjects in a short span of time. How will you revise them? And that can only be done if you have your content ready, and then you know that this is what you have to revise again and again. Okay, and with TND, that's what you did finally. Coping up with the schedule of the test. Did you follow the test schedule? Because that's another doubt which some people have.
Very important, because being with DAMS, they'll form a timeline for you. They'll form a strategy for you, and I'd like to share that also. That you do how the tests go by. You prepare that subject, and finally, when all the subjects are done, you will have the DVT. The most exclusive thing that dance has to offer, the dance visual treat, and that will be amazing. And after that, you start first revision. After you've completed all the TNDs, given the subject test, and if possible, do grand test side by side. And then after the DVT, you have approximately 15-20 days for your CBT. That is the exam that all of you should give.
So he's automatically coming up to things. What was your CBT rank, Anurag?
72.
72. So quite a match, right? You were right bang on. What was yours?
I think 160, I think.
That is
160.
again a very good rank, and yes, they've managed to get an under 100 rank now in their NEET PG exams. That's wonderful, right? So since you talked about DVT, first let me just summarize. He said please follow the test schedule, because a lot of times you students yourself are not able to make a timetable for yourself. So it is better to follow the test schedule so that you ensure that you finish your readings once and then you get on to the revision part. So please, if you are a TND student with us, you must follow the test schedule. Do not miss classes or test. I am not saying, if you fall ill or something like that, but wherever possible, try and attend the classes and make the most use of them, and then follow the schedule as well. Okay, DVT, was it helpful for you in the exams?
Really helpful. A lot of questions are coming, the image-based questions, both in AIMS and NEET.
Yeah, this
PG.
time we had a huge
And
chunk
yes,
of image questions.
Once you do DVT, that 3-day session, you're confident with your images. Now see, most of the things would be new. They can be new, but it's the confidence that matters. Once you've done that, you will be confident with the exam, and once you're confident, half the things are already taken care of.
That's very true. So I'll come back to the confidence part again. But Akash, मैं आपसे जानना चाहूँगी कि CBT का कैसा experience था आपका?
Since for the first time, for the first attempter, I think this is the best gold standard platform. You can judge yourself. We people, both of them were so underconfident. After giving our CBT exam, we get so much confidence that yes, we can do this. Because at that particular point of time, our preparation was going little downward, according to us. I don't know how it is, but yes, we were little disheartened, and we were not at all prepared for CBT. Not at all.
Right.
We only did half of the subjects, but still we managed to get this rank. I personally tell you, we didn't even get full confidence over CBT rank. We thought कि गलती से आ गई.
So it helped you to give motivation that yes, you're on the right track, and if you go ahead from now, you could be a good ranker as well, and it did prove to be true, right? So that's great. So
Yeah, so I would like to add one thing: never underestimate yourself. This was something that we did, both of us.
Never, ever.
We always underestimated ourselves. So be confident. You don't even know how much you know. You don't even know how much they've taught you already in the past 3-4 years, and you would not realize.
that's what I
unless
was
you
coming
face
to. The
exam.
confidence part comes gradually. Once you know that you've been doing things and you've been doing them repeatedly, confidence would automatically start building, and more tests you give, I think that would also be.
We didn't give any GTs, ma'am. That was our mistake, and that's why we don't even know where do we stand and how much we know. So please do give your GTs regularly.
So because they were interns, probably they attended the tests and discussion, but the online test they said they are not. But that's what they are saying, that we've done that mistake, don't do it. And in fact, I would also add that with grant test we are giving some videos as well, which are very, very high yielding. So those things, if you listen to and make notes, they are like highest probability of being asked in the exams as well, right? So his advice is that please give the grant test. That's very important, because you should know where you stand and you keep improving from there on, right? Okay. And any special advice that you want to give to your juniors?
I would say at this stage, dream big, and you won't even know what you can achieve. You just dream big, and you will get it. It's possible.
That's
It is
very
possible.
rightly said. Dream is the first step to achieving it as well. Great.
Please go for AIMS and PGI. They are really easier exams than NEET. I'm telling you from my experience, from his experience, they're really easier exams.
So
And please don't underestimate yourself. Do give them and do prepare for them. Don't think so there's
Right.
any different preparation for NEET or AIMS. Or
Oh.
we are not made for AIMS. We are not made for.
Excellent. It's something that he is saying, and we also tell that to our students, that you don't have to worry that you have to do a separate preparation for AIMS, separate preparation for PGI, separate preparation for notes for NEET. I think they will agree with me that all these exams, I'm repeating again, are very theory intensive, and the pattern is quite the same. So if you know your theory and you know how to apply it, you can crack any exam. You can be an Amazonian, you can go to PGI, you can do very well in all possible exams if you know your matter, right?
Yes, ma'am. And because AIMS and PGI will never gamble with your hard work, but NEET can.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
telling you,
definitely.
it can. So please don't let your hard work waste. So
He's saying give all exams. You shouldn't miss any opportunity. That's absolutely right. You should give all exams. Don't miss the opportunity. And the reason, why we say that it is, he's saying for the NEET is because the number of students is too vast. And, even one silly mistake could take a toll on your rank in a NEET exam because of the marking scheme. So, the silly mistakes are to be avoided. And again, for the same reason, you need to stress more on commonly asked things. Please don't spend unusual time on doing unusual things. They don't fetch you anything. Rather, do the common things more so that you reduce your number of silly mistakes, right? And one final, motivation thing for your juniors.
I want to give a tip that if there are many things, many value-based things, which you never ever get to remember, or never ever if you no matter how much time, how many times you read it, always make a simple diary or small notebook for it. You only have to revise it one day before exam. That's it. And next day you vomit it out, and it will pay you off. That's it.
So he is saying that all sorts of questions are important. Please do not leave any stone unturned when you're doing your preparation. they have tried their hand on all sorts of questions. They're telling you how to go about the value based things, how to go about the conceptual part, how to go about updates, and how to keep testing yourself by giving the tests, right? So it was a wonderful experience, and I'm sure they're going to be very good seniors. They're going to help all their juniors, and they've tried to do that here as well by coming live. So thank you so much, Anurag, and thank you so much, Akash, for being with us and being these, motivating people for your juniors. And I'm sure आपका वीडियो सुनने के बाद they will say कि हम भी कर सकते हैं, and that's what is required, right? So thanks again, and we wish you all the very best for your bright future ahead. God bless you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.